Hi, my name's Philippa Haynes and I'm from Insight 101. We are a brand strategy consultancy and we work particularly well with accountants. And the reason I say that is because we seem to have a lot of accountants who come to us who are future facing, forward looking, and understanding that their business is changing with the digitization of the industry, and they know that they need to service their clients in a different way. And in so doing, they need to think about their customer service and what that looks like these days. So I work very carefully with them and we start to define their brand and we look at their brand vision and their brand values as well, which is the core of any brand and the starting point. And it's interesting, most people, when they think about their values, they talk about having done them themselves. It took them a couple of hours in a meeting and now they're sorted. But what I would say to that is that your values are the most important thing to get right. You need to think about this a lot more seriously, and you are more than likely going to need somebody who is an expert in this to help you kind of really get to the root of what your business is about. Now, values are more than the normal words that we hear, the sort of generics these days, if you like, and I call them fat words, in fact. And fat words are words which we hear all the time: trust, integrity, but in fact, they mean very little. So when I'm talking to my clients, I always encourage them to think about themselves, if they are the business owners, and to think about the values that they hold dear and how that translates into their everyday lives. How do they approach their business? How do they approach their team and their clients? And think about what it is that they value most and what they have learned over the years and that they now bring to their business. Now, yes, of course, it has to be more than one person's vision and values, but there is then a process where you can start to talk about that with your employees if you have them. You know, this is where having an expert comes in and we start to workshop that and start to deep dive, understand the competition, the sort of the market, the context. We understand what everybody else is doing. We understand where your gap or your opportunity sits. We do all of this good stuff, but we most importantly focus on those values and get the buy-in and the conversation around that with your teams. And that's where the magic happens. And the magic happens when everybody is invested in that process. Everybody has an understanding of where these values come from, and they use the language that is known to them. So it's not the integrity, trust, it's words that you use yourself every day. And what we want is that they should trip off the tongue, they should feel natural, they should mean something, they should also convey your way of doing things, your personality, your tone of voice, and they should unite the team. They should really begin to help people to work together. And it's uniting the team that essentially gets across some of the issues that you may have internally where things are changing so much and there are fractures in the culture, fractures in the working practices, but equally some issues externally where clients start to talk to you about your value and how you are different and distinctive from others. So your brand values are absolutely key and cover a range of challenges. They give you the opportunity to respond to the challenges that we see in the industry today. And those challenges I have included in a report based on some conversations and interviews I've had with industry insiders, and I've pulled up some of the key themes. And the idea of this report is to discuss them further, to look at possible solutions and approaches, and also how Insight 101 can support your business if and when you choose to go down the kind of branding route. So I'm going to include the link to the report, and I encourage you to download it and have a look through, and then come back to me if you have any questions.